Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, guten Tag. Mic check out to Chatland. Can you guys hear me? Audio check. Too loud, too low. Talk to me. Tycoonieth 1 2. I see you. Mic check. CST. I see you. Good. Is it too loud? Too low? Let me know, guys. Cool, yeah, we can. Yes, we can. Sadly, yes. The Belgium Hunter. Appreciate your positive, constructive feedback. Sounds good. Fine. Guten Tag. Too manly. Thanks, JK. So, without further ado, going to jump into it. RollerCoaster Tycoon World. You guys have had it for a few days now. You've had the opportunity to look to see what is currently out in early access. Before I jump into anything in-game currently, there's a couple of things that I want to discuss with you guys. Engagement. Know that there are dev blogs up on our RCTW forums as well as over on Steam. On Steam specifically, they've been pinned and stickied up at the top so you can see what the dev team is talking about, what they're going to be working on, what they're going to be bringing to us. You'll notice I keep looking down over here. I have a long notepad from a meeting we had this morning, so I'd like to share some stuff with you guys of what's coming down the pipe. I'm not going to tell you when it's coming down the pipe, as we like to keep that suspense as always. One of the big things that a lot of people have been seeing is this 57% load bug, right? A lot of people are getting the game up to just about 57% and it hangs or crashes. If you jump over to our Steam forums, there's a sticky up there right now with some extremely helpful community users talking about certain fixes for that. It may not apply to everybody depending on the machine that you have that you're using. But please take the opportunity to stop by over there for that specific issue. Lots of really good feedback to the people out there. One of the other pieces over on Steam too are the actual dev blogs. What the dev team is trying to do is to put together chunks of information that's digestible. They don't want a whole entire big, large 10-page wall of text that you guys are going to get bored reading. They want to get right down to the point and tell you what's coming. And especially when it's coming. The actual development plan is being worked on now. We want to get consistent patches out slowly and surely. This way you guys are seeing the progression. You're part of the progression. Somebody has a bug issue or an improvement feature that they want to add. Don't forget, our forums now have an additional dedicated early access sub-forum. And I'm actually going to take a minute to pull those up really quick and pop them in chat for you. They are very, very helpful. Get a quick F5 refresh on these. There we go. Let's pull those up. One of the other forums over there is a tips and tricks for you guys. Depending on how much of the game you've played, how much of it you've seen, you'll be able to go and look at those tips and tricks too. So first and foremost, like I said, that 57% bug, I'm going to paste that into chat for you guys right now so you can check it out. That link right there is the 57% bug link. There is no official fix for that currently. Like I said, we've had some really good users come out and talk about what they've done to fix it, different things, uninstall, reinstall, driver updates, check your Windows updates. There's a couple of different things on there that you can do to try and help mitigate that. The other piece that I wanted to talk about is the actual Steam discussion community. This is where everything is pinned. Essentially up top, you'll see all the dev blogs up there too as well, and I'm going to go ahead and toss that link in there for you so you guys can check that out. This is the discussion threads. We're working on corralling everything together to get it a little bit more organized, similar to what our forums look like. This way there's a dedicated area to where you can, if you're just on Steam and you want to check out information, you're not missing anything. You're going to see the same stuff that is sitting over on our forums right now currently. We're actually going to get to those in just a minute, momentarily. For those of you that are interested, if you head over to the actual last link I just sent in to you for Steam discussions, that has dev blog 1, 2, and 3. Basically, tidbits of information like the day one stuff, the immediate feedback that everybody has so generously put out there for us. Take a look at those. Feel free to add and comment to them. Be constructive. We want all of your feedback. We're looking to get you guys involved. It's a really great opportunity to get in on the action, to help make this game expand, put more into it, ideas, features, stuff that you want to see, stuff that is broken, all different types of things. There are actually 2 different threads. If you go to the RCT forums, there's a bug tracker and an improvement tracker. I'm actually going to give you guys the link to our forums right now. That is the main forums. That is the early access sub-forum link. You can see things like the bug tracker and the improvement tracker. You can also see general discussions there as well. There are some very, how shall I say, passionate and opinionated users out there, and we appreciate all of your feedback, so please keep that stuff coming. The other big piece, too, that a lot of people have been screaming about and talking very loudly about are the graphics and the settings and the setup. So what I want to do is go through really briefly just simple options. I know we did this in the last stream that I showed you guys, and it's kind of a rinse and repeat. But for those of you that did not see the last stream that maybe don't have the game yet, this is just something to really quickly show you how to go through and look at the different options that are out there now. So this one specifically, before we get to graphics, I've been lurking and looking on the forums a lot over the past few days, and one of the big ones that comes to me is edge scrolling. Moving your mouse to the edge of the screen back and forth to move around. It's there. It's right here. You can turn it on. You can turn it off. You can adjust the sensitivity based on how fast you want to move back and forth. So it is there. If you guys haven't seen that before, there's actually over in, I do believe, some of the discussion sections as well as the guide sections on Steam. There are a couple of really good guides on stuff just like this, specifically one for edge scrolling. I'm pretty sure somebody responded with this actual screenshot that you're seeing. Excuse me right now. Now, another thing, too, is you can check out anything here in the options in terms of your field of view for your camera, smart collision, the rotation speed, and the movement speed. This may help slow things down a little bit, help a little bit with performance, but you're not going to see too much help there. The big one I really do want to jump into is the actual graphics. So as you can see here, what I'm running currently, a lot of stuff disabled. Again, this is early access. It helps to play with the settings. Don't just launch the game and go right into the settings of what is defaulted from the first load. Play with them, mess around with them, see what works, see what doesn't work. You're part of early access now. You have the opportunity to tell us, hey, you know what? I have this machine running these specific specs. Why doesn't it run on these specific graphical settings? Because those types of bits of information are extremely important for the developers as they try to optimize across all different machine types, so to speak. I know some people are running low-end machines, some people are running high-end machines, and a mixed bag in between those. So this is going to help you a little bit if you play through it. The first one I want to walk through here is the actual screen resolution itself, and you'll be able to see the different changes. You can see what I'm running now, 3840 by 2160. Basically consider that the high, right? So we're going to jump it down to the middle. We're going to do 1920 by 1080. And you can see the graphical changes. Not super crazy. So we're going to go ahead and jump down and then pull it all the way down to the absolute lowest one that I have on here that will stay at the certain aspect ratio that I'm looking for, the 1280 by 720. You can see a change as well. Take your time, go through the graphics to make sure that you can get it running smooth. I know that you guys are experiencing performance issues. Know that the devs are really looking at those threads and forums with all the information that you guys are giving. Revert my changes, yes. We can bring it back up onto the big screen. Thank you very much. The other listed items to talk about are things like syncing and shadow detail, and we can actually walk through some of those too really briefly. Check those out. You know, one of the big helping bits of information out there was this better FPS over graphics. I know for some it works, for some it doesn't. And again, there is no official fix on this one. But if you mess around with this one here, you should be able to see a change in performance. How big or small, it depends on the machine that you have and what you're using. Keep it disabled. As you can see, I have a couple of other things disabled here as well. Shadows enabled or disabled. Keep those enabled, but then you can take and adjust the actual distance of how far you're going to show the shadows. Very short all the way to very far. Keep it at far just for what it's worth. Don't want to get too crazy, right? And as you look back over here to my notes as well, talking with the actual studio and in terms of their development plan and what's coming, right off the top of my head, they have a really high-level list of stuff for basically for me to talk about to you guys, because I'm not going to sit here and do a whole stream of going through an entire bug list with you guys. That would, I think everybody would probably either fall asleep or leave the channel. So I'm going to spare you the boredom, and we're going to keep it to the point. How are we doing on time? All right, not so bad. Again, high priority stuff that's looking to get fixed relatively soon, sooner than you would think. Looking at the terrain textures for forest, trees are getting up-res, bushes getting up-res, resolutions are getting worked on as well. The ones I just showed you are going to be tweaked so that a lot of people that do have the higher-end machines are going to be able to use some of those higher-end resolutions. The path textures themselves are going to get worked on as well. Some of them look really similar. Some of them may look a little pixelated, depending on what your specific PC build is. Wooden coasters, those are getting worked on as well in terms of graphics. Flowers, plants, there's a bunch of other different sceneries. Maple tree, one of my favorites. I was real happy to see that it was really, really green. If you guys were watching and you guys actually played a bunch of the game and used the maple tree, the green is as much as green is my favorite color. Look, I'm actually wearing green right now. They kind of tone that down a little bit to make it less bright, so to speak, instead of it popping so much. The overall environment greenery, so to speak, basically what that is, ground textures and land textures. You have your grass that comes up through in certain areas and stuff like that. Also working on lighting tweaks. That ranges from everything from your day-night cycles to actual individual lights on rides, flat rides, coasters as well. The other one, too, that a lot of people have been screaming about, sitting peeps. I'm going to repeat that, sitting peeps. You guys noticed, and there were quite a few streams out there that I watched, YouTube recordings as well, where the peeps were sitting in their chairs, and they were sitting half through a coaster chair, or half through a ride chair, or half through a bench. Those are being worked on as well, in addition to graphical tweaks and settings. Now, all that being said, there is no definite ETA. What we're looking to do is bring this content to you before you get it. For example, I don't have a new build to show you today, unfortunately. In the future, what I would like to be able to do is say, hey, you guys have build 123X57. That's just a random number, alphanumeric I pulled out of my head. I want to show you build XYZ. That's going to be coming on date X, Y, whatever. This way you can kind of get a preview of what we're working on, showing the differences between the two, highlighting the actual changes. I think that's going to help a lot in terms of easing a little bit of the tension and frustration out there for lack of transparency, communication, what have you, whatever. It's been called a multitude of things across all of our forums. So that's coming. The visual walkthroughs are coming. The backside of that, the other piece of that, are these dev blogs. The things that you're going to start seeing is the communication from Invisio, like they have been doing, dev blog 1, 2, and 3. They also want to offer up things like patch notes, major bug fixes, minor bug fixes, content releases. Those are 3 completely separate things, and to be able to corral them in one place and show them in a nice, neat fashion for you guys where you can always reference them is a really valuable thing to have. So in a game that comes early access, those types of things and tools that we use are very informative to you, the player. These streams are just helpful too for those that don't want to read or maybe may not have time to sit and read through all of those. I suggest you read them. There's a lot of good information in there. Plus, you get all the interaction in the community too. The guys that have been playing the game, that are really working hard to give us that constructive criticism, that feedback, tidbits, tricks, information of stuff on, okay, instead of using this type of path, use this type of path, or if you want to snap versus not snap, grid versus not grid. I mean, those different types of things are really helpful, and they may be small, but as you're playing through the game, you'll see how much of a difference they actually do make. And again, here I'm kind of half off camera because I'm looking at my notes that I took this morning. One of the other issues that I see across all of the forums as well, load times. The bigger the park, the longer the load time should take. And that's, of course, just as with any game, that will optimize over time. And that rolls right into gameplay and performance, and I'm checking these off as well. I also have somebody looking at the chat, taking any legitimate questions, or I should say constructive questions, as you will, because we really want to get all those down. Anything that hasn't already been said on the forums, whether it be our forums or Steam forums, we want to get all those. So it looks like I covered a really large majority of what we wanted to discuss in terms of what's coming with that next build. Gradual. You want to see bit by bit, piece by piece. I mean, and by piece, I mean slow, iterative development. Builds that come out that you guys can see and play that do have content updates as well as patches, fixes, and stuff like that. So, one of the other pieces I wanted to run through you guys, I actually wanted to go through in-game a bit and walk through the tutorials. After much greatly appreciated feedback on my last stream, and yes, I do read all of your comments, and I do listen. It seems like it was very, very fast. So I'm going to take, we got about 13 minutes left here on the stream. Half an hour, we're killing it. I'm getting rid of it. I'm done. So, I want to walk you through, basically, we're going to go through campaign. We're going to run through the initial campaign. I'm not sure how many of you guys have done this. You have the game. Spoiler alert. Turn off the stream now if you haven't played the game and you don't want to spoil anything on the campaigns, because I'm going to run through some of it right now. Not through the whole thing, but I want to be able to talk through some of the tutorials that we spoke about last one. And here they are. They pop right up as soon as you jump in. So while some of you are really inclined to jump in and say, hey, I want to get sandbox, I want to be able to expand the entire park, unlimited money, build anything I want, there are players out there that aren't as experienced. Maybe they only picked up RCT 2 or 3, or just 3, or just 1, whatever the case may be. It's really simple to get through and show the different controls. Like, it's a basic camera movement. I mean, I'm not going to get too crazy with this, right, guys? WASD, you can click through, you can zoom in and out again, right? Rotating your camera and tilting your camera. Very simple stuff. Again, nothing crazy, nothing outstanding. Give it a minute, the next one pops up. Let's start to attract peeps. Any ride, and this is where we get down into what I showed you briefly last time. I know you guys were bashing, and I love all of it. Please feel free, bash me all you want. No shame in the game, right? But essentially, what this is instead of me talking through you, interacting inside the tutorial in the game, it basically walks you through. And if you at any point in time you get lost, you're starting to build too much. Oh, they're here. Like I showed you, just like last stream, the tutorials are in there, right? You can see all of them. You can go through and rerun them and pull up the text, just like I explained last time. And I'm actually going to come back to the main menu. Load times, a little bit quicker. Again, I'm going to go through and show you. One of the other questions that I have out there for chat, FPS dropping, FPS, I see all this FPS. Guys, check your Twitch settings. Please make sure that you guys have the ability to adjust the quality of the stream. Let me know if you do not. I know that some people did and some people didn't. That's one thing I would like to do right now, because I actually have it open up on the other side. Let's look. You guys can bear with me. So this is beautiful music on the channel. We got about 10 minutes left in the stream. We're probably not going to go a full half hour, guys. I want to evolve these into more dev blogs. I want to be able to show you builds that are coming that you have not seen yet. I want to talk about patch notes. I want to talk about release plans, how often, when they're coming. I just don't have that stuff for you right now. And once I do, I'm going to be sharing them. So please, we appreciate your patience thus far. Continue to be patient. Quick channel over, quick F5 on the refresh. Dropping frame rates. Yeah, I see the frame rates. Best source. Try all the different video player options. I mean, all the qualities. You have source. You have all the way down to high. And again, you know, I did about a half an hour of stream prep to make sure my bitrate was good. Currently, right now, as I stream to you, I have 0 frame rates dropped. I'm pushing about anywhere between 2,800K to 3,000. So, I mean, it's pumping, it's going through. I'm not sure where you guys are located in terms of bandwidth and prime time. Gameplay? No, I don't want to run through any gameplay. There's other YouTube channels out there that have been taking and dialoguing everything that they're doing, good or bad. However, that's their opinion. I want to be able to run through the dev side of it. This is not. The whole mindset changes now, right, guys? This is not a throwback. This is not a speed run. We want to be able to look and show you what's coming. Unfortunately, I don't have that next build that's coming. When I do have it, I want to show it to you. Remember, we want to target our streams for Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's twice a week. We want to try and be able to alternate between content updates, bug fixes, and patches. This way, 1 week I can show you what's in the build, what's coming. We can actually run through some of the gameplay. We can look at any changes they may have made, whether they are bug-related in terms of Peep AI or pathfinding or path placement, build and placement, coaster builder, graphics, shadows, lighting, a whole bunch of different things as well. One of the other things that I want to kind of end here with is the content manager. If you come over here to the content manager, and again, if I went too fast, I'll bring it back to you, okay? All the way down here at the bottom, you have content manager. This is similar to the social hub in-game. You can come here and you can look at all the different things in terms of activity, all the different park names. This is local content here on this machine. Bunch of different things locally here. Save. See Nookriat Camp 2, Nookriat Campaign, Nookriatville. I got a couple of parks being built right there. All your friends' content. You can see who's putting up what and where and when. You can see the last date here, stamp of Infamous Panda. Shout out to Infamous Panda if you're out there in the chat. I'm not sure if you're using the same name. Good to see you putting a bunch of stuff up here. Croto. Big Boy, Max Freak. I'm not sure if you're out there, Max, but I love your stuff too, dude. You got a lot of really cool stuff out there. Big Boy, Shirty, Renzies, Zet. I mean, these guys are building coasters. They're saving the blueprints and putting them out there. They're building parks, being able to go out there and check them out, right? You can see you can enable all the UGC and bring it into the game. Any specific media that they may have out there, you can view fly-throughs, park rides. They may do a peep walkthrough. They may do a coaster cam and save it. Blueprints. Here's the other one. Death Tome. Death Tome, if you're out there in the chat, give me a shout. A shot too many. There's a blueprint. The coaster blueprint, right? Look at this. Croto, Big Boy, Max Freak, Zet, the X, Big Boy. You see, there's a bunch. And one thing I'm not going to show you right now that we'll probably talk about a little bit next week is the actual integration into Steam Workshop. You can go through there and check and see what everybody's pulling up in terms of UGC to put into the game. Here's the other one, maps, full maps. People that are making full maps out there, you can go visit them. Beta, Chris Craft. I mean, there's only 2 right now. And then the community, we'll open that up. Now you can see all of these different parks. You see the difference between the two? Like my friend's content. There's 2. Beta and Chris Craft. Awesome guys. But then you jump to the community and you can see all of these different users that have put up all this different stuff. And you can visit each of their specific parks, which is pretty awesome. And that's one of the things I want to incorporate too. So we think of the 2 streams as, we're going to do them twice a week, right? We're going to have one where we can show the content, so we can say, all right, this is the build that's coming, show you all the bugs that are being fixed, talk about the dev plan of what's going to be coming in the next build, show it to you, maybe jump in some of the parks, and that's one of the things I'm going to engage here with the chat to say, hey, you know what? You got a park, you want me to jump in it? Shout me out. Let me know in chat. Same thing with some of the blueprints. Go ahead and expand upon a park I've already built, or take somebody else's park they've saved so generously here on this machine. And then the actual UGC panel itself. This is you got packs here. All right, Dark Horizon, Fantasy Kingdom, RC3 Post Office, Stone Walls, Floating Fountains, Main Street Bakeries, Infamous Panda. Again, I hope you're out there in chat, Infamous Panda, and I'm going to come scroll over here to the side and take a quick look. I don't think so. I really wish you'd come out to the streams, Panda. You do some really great work, and I would love to be able to see you. Is that Sleepy Panda? Did I see you? Sleepy Panda? Did I see you? Let me scroll up. Hold still. Hold still. Where are you? Cheers. I think I do see you. Scrolls. Feels good, man. Awesome. So again, back to UGC. We got about 4 minutes here left on the stream, guys. I know you guys are itching to play the game some more. Please go play it. Share your content. Put it out on the workshop. Put it out on UGC so we can use it. I know we got some of the guys here on the team that are making parks with UGC. Lots of really cool stuff. The devs are doing the same. And the other thing, too, is, listen, it is extremely important for you guys to get us your feedback. So take the time to think about your ideas, your bug fixes, your frustrations, collect them constructively and put them out on our forums as well as our Steam pages as well. Other than that, guys, that's going to do it. That's going to kill it. Again, we ran through a bunch of stuff that's immediately on the list that the dev team is looking at fixing. They are currently working on it. If you stay tuned to our blog on our website, and again, here, before I actually close out the stream, I'm going to repost the stuff for you so you can see the early access forums. Right there. Everybody. Chat check. Timestamp 3:57. RollerCoaster Tycoon forums. Early access sub forum. Go there. Check it out. There's a lot of good information over there as well. The other big chunk of information that we are looking at heavily, Steam. Go over to our Steam discussions. If you haven't joined the Steam group, join it, because there's going to be announcements coming through the events page there as well. There's another link for you. Steam community. That's our discussions. Be sure to check that out. So now I have the honor of going back through the chat to grab up some of your guys' questions, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, the mindset is early access. We want to show you what's coming. As soon as we have that stuff, be prepared to see it. We want to show it to you. So our stream is going to be for next Thursday. Probably similar time depending on when the patch comes, and we'll talk more about that. If you guys do have any questions, make sure you head over to our forums and post them there. Our moderators are watching heavily. Until next time, guys, cheers.